Same thing here. So let's look at this. What determined why this did what it did right here, right? So if you guys look at this trade, right? If you look at this, obviously hindsight, but I'm telling you, if you would have been charting this out, wouldn't you have put a chart here, right? You would put a line here, wouldn't you? Yeah, that's support, right? And coach, it didn't touch though. It doesn't matter. It doesn't need to touch. It's close, right? It's never it most of the time it's not going to be to the penny, right? Sometimes it is, which is funny. That's why I'm always like, do you see where it stopped? Like right on the exact damn cent. But this is a double bottom. Absolutely textbook perfect, right? It wants to go to the upside, pulls back, bounces on the bottom. Where do you think it's going to go? Now we start charting it out. You've got a line there, you've got a line there, and you've got a line there. There you go, right? That is a perfect textbook double bottom. It's one of my absolute favorite trades to ever make. A double bottom is beautiful. When we start to get into a triple bottom, you have to be more cautious every time it touches the bottom, right? And if you get to a quad, typically it breaks because same thing. Everybody's like, okay, it's just not going to hang up here. So I'm going to bury it. Does that make sense? But a
Yep.
double bottom or a double top, guys, these are perfect. So again, double bottom, setting up for a double top. If it doesn't break through to this side, guess where it wants to go? Repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat, rinse. Now, eventually it will get to a point where it might just like come halfway, bounce on VWAP, and then make a leg back up. If it does, if it does that, if it comes up, comes back, bounces VWAP to the upside, anticipate more bullish that will probably break through. Do you see it? Okay, that's because now this time VWAP would have become support. And then that is more bullish because it wasn't completely weak where it comes all the way through. Does that make sense? Right here. Okay. Now this one was a little harder, but again, it starts to chop up into the top, right? So as we're looking at this, now obviously this one is really hectic, but look, we already know that 447, 44 was critical. And you know what's funny? We've had this identified for a very long time. If you've heard me before, and this is why it's in gold, this number has been here for a long time. And I always talk about 447, 44 on SPY. It's been a thing for a while. That's why it matters. Came up. Here's your double bottom. Couldn't break. Pulls back, right? Now it didn't come all the way down, but it doesn't matter because we're talking about a scalping only technique. This is not a 2-minute EWO drill. This is scalping only, right? Comes up, pulls back, comes up, pulls back, comes up, pulls back. Do you guys see how you can trade off of that top? Excuse me. Do you see how that is
Yeah.
constant? It's just constant, right? Then it slowly creeps its way back up. Boom, there it is again. Pulls back. 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 Do you see how many times and why I picked it up here for the move back to the downside? Look how many times you could scalp off of that range. Do you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, coach.
It's just constant, you guys, until it breaks to the upside and continues to climb. Then we'll go up here and then I'll put a stop down here, right? And then remember, it might take you a couple times. You might get it wrong a couple times. You might be like, oh, it's to the upside. 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 Guess what? That just paid for your last 50 trades, right? Right? Because if your stops are tight because you anticipated the move to the upside, but they didn't and they went this way and you were in a call, you would have stopped right here, 10x'd it. And all of these, you lost maybe 2%, right? And this one, you 1000%ed it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So don't panic and be like, oh, I got burned. 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 Eventually, boom, payday. Right? So if we start looking at it like that, instead of, oh my gosh, the last 6 trades sucked. Nope. Who cares? Who cares? Because eventually you're going to get that runner. Bye bye. Why do you guys think I tell you every day? Let your runners run, right? Because if you don't, you'll be like, yay, that's the one. And you collect right here. Well, you barely made enough to compensate for all these little moves, right? So do the opposite. Runners run. The red ones, kill them right away, right?